Well, so let's not switch topics completely, but gears and speak about the agri-food tech ecosystem, which just the food alone is a 9 trillion economy, so something we get very excited about. A few words on Astanor Ventures. We have been a very early mover in the space. We are an agri-food tech venture capital impact fund. We invest what we call from soil to gut. So Ynsect fits perfectly in the middle. And we have now deployed capital in a first large fund, 260 million euros, fully deployed. We're in a second fund. Ynsect is a company that Astanor has been engaged with end of 2016. This is something that Antoine and I talked about, so very early in that space. And over to Antoine, the founder of Ynsect, to tell you why the company is so unique and how he is systemically changing the food system.
Thanks, Christina. Hello, everyone. Happy to be there with you. I think what makes Ynsect singular in the food space is about its impact and the model we have. It's having a systemic impact. When you look at the IPCC or IPBS, climate and biodiversity panels, they're listing basically 4 main threats for life, humans and biodiversity on Earth. First is, of course, global warming. Second is deforestation and land use change. Third is about direct biodiversity impact like overfishing, and the fourth is about pollution. And what is pretty unique in what we do is with one single technology, the vertical farm and the biology, we are addressing the 4 main threats. We have products that are replacing in pet food and human food, beef, lamb, chicken, any kind of meat, so leading to strong reduction of methane emissions and other carbons. Also replacing fertilizer chemicals by organic fertilizer, you have a reduction of nitrogen peroxide, so it's another way to reduce carbon emissions. It's also another way to reduce pollution of the soils and water, because fertilizer are the first source of water pollution and what we call dead zones, which are on the oceans because of the water eutrophications coming from agriculture. On deforestation, we have proteins that replacing soy protein concentrates on one way and palm oil on the other way, so the 2 major contributors to deforestation in the world. And finally, some of our products can replace fish meal, which is this protein used mainly in animal feed, which is the largest fishery. About 1/4 of the total fisheries are coming from to do fish meal. So you see, with one single technology, we are addressing all these impacts, which are the main threats for humanity and life on Earth, and we are really humbled to be contributing to this with our company, which is obviously B Corp label and very committed every day to deliver this impact.
So it's really the combination of nutritional value and environmental benefits that makes that company so unique, and exploring that over the whole value chain. Now, Antoine, you have been on this journey for quite a long time, and there is a few companies here that just get started. Perhaps you can tell us what you have learned, the major challenges you have overcome, but also speak a bit about the major successes you had.
Sure. I mean, we started 11 years ago with my co-founders, and we are about 350 now in France, Netherlands, and the US. And I think we were facing 3 main bottlenecks to grow this totally new industry. One was regulation first. Nobody thought about insect in the regulatory framework, and we couldn't sell any product. Everything was forbidden in Europe because not described in the regulations. So we had to create a lobbying group in Brussels. I've been chairing this effort for a couple of years, and after a while we could convince the Commission and all the member states to open first, after pet food, fish feed, pigs, poultry, fertilizer, and then human food very recently. So we could now open the full European market, the largest market in the world, and many other countries are following now the European framework. Second was about sales, commercial bottlenecks. I think founders, we are often convinced we have great product because it's good for the environment, so customers will buy the product. But customers really, most of them don't really care about sustainability still yet, and at least they don't pay premium for that, and it's not the main driver to buy products. So it's about technical benefits, performance, health benefits that we could prove with science. And over time, we could convince very large companies in plant nutrition, fish feed, pet food, human food to use the products. And we have now more than 150 million contracted revenues and about $1 billion of contract in negotiation in our pipeline. So the growth is already there, so we could go there. So that's a success after going through this bottleneck by hiring the good people. Back to the previous roundtable was also finding the good salesman and business developer to do that. And the last one, I think, obviously technology. No really existing technology. For insect farming is not new. You have silkworm for centuries, but building this at scale for food and feed was tricky. So we scaled from a small plant to for small pilot prototype to a large plant, which is now just starting in north of France. So we raised about 500 million on the 11 years journey to get there. But overall, now the business is de-risked. The products are good, the customers are buying there, the technology works well, has been tested and worked on a long period of years at a medium size and now a very large scale. So we are ready to deploy, and we are exciting to be there for making really an impact now.
So I'm sure in the spirit of NOAH that the investors in the room have listened very carefully to the numbers. So Antoine, what is next, especially for the audience here to know and share?
So, indeed, the first thing, we have this large plant now starting to run, which is pretty impressive. It's like 40,000 square meters, about 40 meters high, fully automated. We collect about 1 billion data points per day, so it's a really 4.0 manufacturer, mixing hardware, software, and biology together in this vertical farm. So, and I said 150 million contracted revenues go beyond the capacity of the plant, so we are overbooked and oversold the capacity. So this is why we decided a few months ago with the board to go to build further capacity to deliver also the pipeline we have and the negotiation that are going to new contract signature now. And for this, we are now working with a lot of large corporates in the world, in Europe, in North America, Northeast Asia, or Middle East, to build further capacity, either standalone or through joint ventures. So we have different joint ventures agreements have been signed, so a few will be announced later this week or next week, beyond Europe. And to fund the part of Ynsect financing this new project, we are doing a further funding. Right now, it's a Series Ds, and we have already first concur on the second one, and bringing all together for hopefully a close in the next couple of weeks or months to go to there. So there is still some room, and we will be happy, of course, to discuss with investors about this opportunity to work together to make this impact and this growth and aligning business objectives and ecological objectives.
Antoine, thank you very much. It's really exciting to hear about your journey, the leading insect company in the world. It's a European company, it's based out of Europe, so that's also something that we proudly present here in Switzerland. Thank you very much, Antoine.
And thanks, Astanor, for your support from the beginning. And back again to the previous roundtable, Astanor has been really instrumental to help me to find great talents, my CFO, my COO, that have been really helpful in the past few months. So also thanks for that. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.